Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new build on Spellslam. Today we are showing you Red-Green Madness. And it all starts with Madness spells. So Madness means that if ever you were to discard a card that has Madness, you can instead cast it for its Madness cost. So in this case of Basking Rootwalla, for example, you could Madness it in for 0 by discarding it to an ability or a spell. And we are running quite a few of those, 18 I think. We've got 4 Basking Rootwallas, and this is the main card that I've been playing red for this time around, which is Reckless Wurm. It was recently downgraded from in Ultimate Masters from an uncommon, and it's a 5-mana 4/4 with trample, but you can Madness it in for 3. Important to note with Madness, you can also Madness stuff in at instant speed if your discard is instant speed, which most of ours is. So you could be playing a 4/4 trample for 3 at instant speed, which is really, really awesome. It gets me really excited to play these cards. And we've got the older counterpart here, Arrogant Wurm, which is basically the same thing. So this allows us to have 8 copies of the same card by playing red-green. Otherwise, we've got Fiery Temper, just a lightning bolt. It's really, really bad on the upside, but if you can Madness it in, it's very, very good. Gets you that instead of discarding, you get to cast it, and deals 3 damage like lightning bolt does. So very, very nice. And to finish off our Madness spell, we've got Senseless Rage, and this one is the one that I'm the most on the fence about. I used to run Rancor in its place, but I felt that Rancor was a little bit underwhelming with Reckless Wurm and Arrogant Wurm, because it would only give basically +2/+0, because these cards already have trample, which is sweet. But so I thought with Senseless Rage I could, kind of push the Madness a little bit further and still get, a pump spell that I can play at instant speed if I have an instant speed Madness trigger. Overall, I haven't been too impressed with it. I haven't cut it yet, but I might do that in the future. If you guys think of anything else that I could play instead of this, or maybe just like buff up another number in my deck or something, let me know. Otherwise, we've got all this Madness stuff. We need some stuff to discard. Wild Mongrel is basically the best discard outlet in Pauper, maybe only second to Tortured Existence, which we can't play unless we play black, and a lot of black. So Wild Mongrel, just basically a 2/2 for 2, and free discard, gets it pumped. You can make it any color, which means you can discard at instant speed. Makes combat math really, really difficult for the opponent. It's an extremely powerful card. If you're playing discard and you're playing green, you're playing Wild Mongrel, that's for sure. Advantage of playing red as well is Faithless Looting. If you have enough Madness spells, this can feel like you're drawing 2 cards for just 1 mana, which is really, really nice. We're also complementing that with Tormenting Voice, which needs you to basically play discard something up front, but you get to draw 2 cards for 2 mana, which is really nice. And we are also playing Insolent Neonate as a 4/of. I was on the fence about this card as well. I'm kind of warming up to it slowly. It's a 1 mana 1/1 with Menace, which is not negligible. You can get a few points of damage in with this card for sure. It's a little bit slow, but it allows you to play a Arrogant Wurm or Reckless Wurm on turn 3, which is kind of what we want to be doing. And otherwise, this is just a decent Madness enabler, I guess. Otherwise, we've also got Lightning Axe here, 1 mana instant, and if you want to, you can pay 5. You can pay 6 mana for it, or you can discard a card. We're usually going to be discarding, though it is possible to get up to 6 mana with this deck. And essentially, yeah, you're using it as a strong removal spell. It's very good against Gurmag Anglers, especially, which is kind of the reason why I have 3 of them. Maybe I should cut a Senseless Rage and go up to 4 Lightning Axes. I don't know. We'll see. And essentially, it's just a very, very strong removal spell. And then we're topping it all off with 4 Lightning Bolts. Pretty classic in most red decks. So that's the main deck. Other than that, we've got 7 Forests, 8 Mountains, 4 Rugged Highlands. And if we move on to the sideboard, we've got 4 Pyroblasts, good against anything blue, 4 Moment's Peace, good for racing other aggro decks, Flaring Pains, very good against Circle of Protection or other fogs, Relic of Progenitus, very good against Tron decks that are trying to loop with Ghostly Flicker and stuff, or just, graveyard shenanigan decks, and Pulse of Murasa, 3 mana to gain 6 life and return a creature from your graveyard to your hand is actually quite strong, and of course Ancient Grudge can get some extra value if you discard it. And then bring it back from your graveyard, so you can discard it, or you can just, kill 2 artifacts for 3 mana, which is very, very strong. So that's Gruul Madness. If you guys have any suggestions on how I can improve this deck, this is, far from a perfect list, I agree, but I think it's a pretty strong starting point. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the games.